In the EV industry, there's only one name that's on the tip of everyone's tongue: Tesla. But what if I tell you that there's a Chinese company that might soon dethrone Tesla from its seat? Sounds pretty far-fetched, doesn't it? But fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how big of a Tesla fan you are, it is far from a delusion. BYD has already sold over 4.27 million new EVs in the year 2024, including both battery electric vehicles and plug-in hybrid vehicles. As shocking as it is, nobody in the US has caught up to this drama yet. The Chinese company is slowly taking over the market, right under America's nose, and no one has a single clue. News is that BYD has a master plan that could shake up the entire automotive industry. It could be the biggest EV takeover people will see in the upcoming years. The question is whether America is ready to see its favorite EV company, Tesla, go down. If you're into business and automotive deep dives, you're in the right place. So before we get into it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You know you want to. Anyways, let's just jump into the video. BYD versus Tesla. Let's pit the two against each other. Does BYD even come close to the likes of Tesla? Think about it. Elon Musk built Tesla over the decades. He managed to put it on the world map and completely revolutionized the EV market. For most people around the world, Tesla is the only name in the EV market worth considering. Heck, a lot of the viewers might not even know of a brand other than Tesla in the EV industry. So the idea of any brand surpassing Tesla seems almost impossible, but it is a reality today. The Chinese company BYD is already miles ahead of Tesla. Take a look at the numbers. They don't lie. Tesla sold about 1.8 million units in 2023 and 1.7 million units in 2024. On the other hand, the BYD sold over 3 million units in 2023 and a little over 4 million last year. That's not a small jump. Those are some record-breaking stats. You see, Tesla has focused on expanding its market in the United States. However, BYD is looking to play the long game. They're laser-focused on infiltrating the global market and growing the EV market in Europe, Asia, and South America. And the best part is, it's working. You might wonder, what's the reason behind the success of this silent takeover? Well, BYD's strategy is simple, cheaper but effective. While Tesla relies heavily on lithium-ion batteries, you can't help but agree that it is a premium selling point. It's both expensive and requires complex cooling systems. On the other hand, BYD utilizes something called the Blade battery. They are far less flammable and have the capacity to store more energy in the same space. That's already loads better than the traditional EV batteries. So, not only can the Blade battery handle extreme conditions better, but it also allows BYD to sell the EVs at a lower price. Now, it isn't like Tesla hasn't taken notice of this new competitor in the block. They have tried reducing prices to appeal to the customers, but BYD hasn't advertised itself as a premium luxury brand. They are designing EVs that are affordable to everyone. So, while Tesla is trying to stay competitive by lowering the prices, it can't come close to the price that BYD is offering. Think about it. Tesla's cheapest car is 3 times the price of the best-selling model by BYD. They can't possibly match the price of BYD. So is that the reason that BYD has appealed to the global market? The global EV takeover. Having read up on BYD's strategy and stats, I hate to tell you that BYD isn't here to challenge Tesla. No, it is here to dethrone it and reshape the entire industry. As I've mentioned before, while most people think of EVs as luxury vehicles, BYD waltzed into the market with a different goal: to bring affordable EVs that certainly appeal to a large number of customers. Instead of restricting themselves to one local market, they are thinking of expanding into Europe, South America, and Southeast Asia. And you know what the scary bit is? This is only the start of their global domination plan. Europe. Take Europe as an example. With the European governments pushing for stricter emission laws, automakers are scrambling to find ways to bring in EVs to replace gas-powered vehicles. BYD saw the sweet opportunity and leaped at it the first chance they got. They introduced many models from their production line to the markets in Germany, France, and the UK. But instead of focusing on shipping cars to Europe all the way from China, they have built a production facility in Hungary from scratch, which guarantees fast deliveries all across Europe. On top of that, it is planning to compete directly with the giants of the European automotive industry, aiming to go after BMW and Volkswagen. We've actually discussed this in detail in one of our previous videos. So to get more insight into why and how BYD actually has a fairly good chance of succeeding, why not check that one out? So, in other words, they're not just targeting Tesla, they're aiming for every big name in the automotive industry, and BYD isn't stopping there.
Tonight, Chinese automaker BYD has opened its first electric vehicle plant in Thailand as part of the company's push to expand its reach into Southeast Asian markets.
Southeast Asia. Let's head all the way over to Southeast Asia, where BYD has already gained its fair share in the Thailand market. They've gone far beyond any other local competitor, and it isn't just one country. Indonesia, Vietnam, and Malaysia are also witnessing a massive influx of BYD vehicles as the governments are looking to welcome more and more EVs into the local market. While their cheap prices and cool models appeal to the customers, there is one other thing that's allowing BYD to keep its good name in the industry. That's their fast production. They are dominating in the EV market because they have scaled their production just as quickly as the demand grows. In places where the EV market hasn't even come out properly, BYD has already introduced fashionable models that are cheap but effective. Unlike Tesla, which focuses on selling directly to consumers, BYD is working quite closely with local distributors. This not only allows it to get up close and personal with the needs of the people in these regions, but also allows it to penetrate these regions more effectively. South America. The plan for world domination by BYD hasn't stopped yet, though. Their next big target is South America, and the company has already announced a $600 million facility in Brazil. With rising fuel prices and growing environmental concerns, Latin America is becoming the ideal market for EVs. Unlike traditional automakers struggling to shift from gas-powered vehicles, BYD's early presence gives it the first-mover advantage in this region. Now, the big question is whether or not the company has any plans of coming into the United States. You will be surprised to know the answer. Is BYD a threat to the United States? The United States isn't blind to whatever is going on in the automotive industry. The sudden expansion of BYD has raised a lot of questions among the US automakers. Think about it. For years, America has clearly dominated the EV market. This is why it took them by surprise when a Chinese company started challenging them with better prices in the market. Well, they have the BYD's Blade battery to blame for all of this drama. The cheaper alternative to lithium-ion batteries is something that even the US market has been working on, but they didn't crack the code like BYD. This gives BYD an enormous advantage and a slight edge over the US automakers, as you can see from the numbers. Let's suppose BYD does make a grand entrance into the US market. Do you think they will have trouble gaining a foothold in the industry? With BYD's fast production and the incredible drop in prices, I don't think they will have a tough time competing with Tesla in America. The US automakers will be far off from offering the prices BYD is giving up front to its consumers. This makes me think that they might just appeal to the local consumer in the US market. With Trump imposing tariffs left and right, China was the one who faced the biggest hit. Such policies may hinder the growth of the Chinese company in the United States, but is it enough to keep them from trying? Believe it or not, the Chinese company is already in America with thousands of electric buses running in big cities like Los Angeles and New York. Apart from that, it has already set up manufacturing plants in Mexico, just close to the US border. If it begins exporting EVs from Mexico into the United States, it could create chaos in the American market. In short, if BYD keeps up with its aggressive growth, America will have no choice but to amp up local manufacturing or go hard on trade restrictions. Either way, they are looking at an economic shift that nobody in the automotive market could have predicted months ago. The question is, will they be successful in their virus-like expansion? Can BYD take over Tesla? As scary as BYD's infiltration into the industry is, Tesla still has its brand name and recognition under its belt. Plus, BYD is not yet a globally recognized brand, but over time, that could easily change. You see, BYD's target audience isn't just the elite, nor is it just one country. They are making EVs for the masses, all around the globe. While Tesla is still struggling to fit their EVs into an affordable price range, in addition to dealing with high production costs and trying to fight with this new competitor, BYD is already pushing out millions of affordable EVs. Right now, the two competitors are dominating the automotive industries in a few big markets, but the real battle between the two giants is yet to happen. The couple of markets where the two have gone against each other, BYD has taken an easy win. In Europe, BYD is giving a hard time to the old brands like Volkswagen. In China, Tesla has already lost the battle to BYD. If this goes on, it is going to be really hard for Tesla to keep up with BYD, let alone outsmart the Chinese company in terms of sales. The way it is happening, I think it is a matter of time before BYD takes over Tesla. But the EV war is far from over. Things could shift either way. But one thing is clear, Tesla is no longer the only dominant name in the industry. BYD is here, and it's not slowing down. What do you think will happen? Does BYD stand a chance against Tesla in the US market? Or is it Tesla that needs to watch its back? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.